Swimming Pool Steve here with another equipment installation review. This one's going to be short, not much going on here. Got ourselves a older Hayward super pump here. That's the suction line coming up from the ground. Got a union into a street elbow into a male adapter. This street elbow direct into the front port of this pump is a major flow restriction. This pump should have at least 10 times the pipe diameter in a straight run in front of the pump without any 90s or valves or unions or anything like that. So this pump here would experience just a harder workload than a pump that has a better flow dynamic setup with a straight run coming into the front of it. So a street elbow is basically the worst flow restriction, and right at the suction port of the pump is definitely working this pump harder than it should be. So out of the pump, got some free air spa flex here down into the filter. I would definitely redo that line. That threaded connection there, guaranteed that that's going to move. When this line's full of water and it's moving and shaking around, you're definitely going to move those threads there and you'll end up with a leak at that point. Also, the single clamp is not how you do it. You want at least 2 clamps, but preferably you want to glue the pipe. This type of hose here is made for primer and glue, not for clamps, but you see that all the time. Alright, so out of the filter into a 3-way diverter valve there. This is kind of an interesting setup. They have this weird contraption here on top. Now, what I'm guessing here, because that's the standard garden hose size thread there, I'm thinking that that's what they have this for, is for if they wanted to put a garden hose on there and use the pressurized pool water for some application. I would strip all that out. If this were my pool, I'd take all that out of there. So come out of the filter, back down into the ground. That's it. That's all there is here. No heater, not a lot going on. I would definitely strap this piping up, especially if you've got this nice plywood here. I'd probably go to the wall with rigid pipe, strap it on, back into the filter. I like it when everything is clamped and strapped into place. I don't like seeing any free air pipes at all. What else do we have here? We've got that street elbow there. I would definitely change the orientation of this pump. I would have at least 8 to 10 inches of straight run into the front of the pump and get rid of that street elbow. Here's one I haven't talked about before. This might be a little bit regional. The area I'm in is southern Ontario, Canada, but this pool that I'm working on right now is an in-ground pool. This in-ground pool pump has been adapted with that yellow cord you see to plug in. Now, in the area that I work, above ground pools can have a cord end, and actually that's why when you buy an above ground pool pump, it has a cord end on it, but in-ground pool pumps like this one do not, because these require to be hardwired. What hardwired means is something like that, like an actual permanent electrical connection, not a plug. The problem is that these pumps draw just huge amounts of electricity, a lot of current in these motors, and there's a lot of heat that's created as a result of that. It's not uncommon when you see an installation like this. If you pull out this plug or take a look at it, you'll see that the plug can be brown and burning, and sometimes I've even seen them start a fire. Oh wow, that's not good at all. Look at the size of this line. This is not 14.2. That is something lighter gauge than that, and it's definitely not enough for this pump. Like, they have a motor controller up here, which is nice because a pump is not supposed to be turned on and off with a switch or with a breaker. But that being said, this line is definitely too small for this pump here. And this is definitely a fire hazard, something I would strongly recommend to replace before running this equipment, especially since there's a nice new electrical panel right here. Could be that this customer is going to do that and just hasn't got to it yet. That's what that line might be for, but for the time being, this pump is running off of a cord end, which is something that I don't like to see.